All right, do you want to start or do I start? If you're watching, this is a new show. If you're listening, it's a new show. It's a podcast, maybe a blog post.
An
if
experiment.
We transcribe it. This is our second time recording this. We spent 45 minutes recording a show before this, only to find out that our memory cards filled up.
Because someone forgot to format them.
Yeah, it's me. I take the blame. 17 minutes in, the cameras just stopped and we continued on for another 25 minutes.
It's crazy because we made coffee during our last episode and we each drank a cup, and now we're about to drink another cup of coffee.
It's too much coffee.
I don't think I introduced myself.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Okay, I'm Dave. If you're watching, you can see our sign. It says Dan and Dave. If you're listening, good luck figuring out who's who.
This is Coffee with Dan and Dave. This is our second YouTube show. We have another show on YouTube called Artifact, and now we're launching a new one called Coffee with Dan and Dave.
Hence the coffee.
Yeah. I'll give you guys a little info. Coffee with Dan and Dave was actually a show that we had 10 years ago. You know, we just looked up.
That's true.
When we filmed the first one, and it was May 2013. Wow.
That predates Art of Play.
That predates Art of Play.
By a few months.
Yeah, it was a live show that we did every Friday morning with our good friend Elliot Terrell. And it lasted for almost 4 years.
Really?
Yeah, since the end of 2016.
That's 3 years.
Well, yeah, that's 3 years. It's been a while since
Everyone's
we've done
good
it.
at something.
And you know what? We thought, why not? You know, we have this amazing set.
It's pretty amazing.
We have all the cameras set up. We're getting better at audio. We have lots of free time, so we're going to do a second show.
The intent behind this show is to hone our storytelling skills, our interviewing skills, and our listening skills. We'd love for this to turn into a podcast and a show where we bring on special guests. But we are going to talk about a project which we have been working on with Kalak and our team. And by the time this episode goes live, will have been premiered on YouTube.
Yeah. Go watch episode 10 of our other show called Artifact, because at the end we debut a new project, a new mini documentary series that we launched today, and we're super excited about. And that's why we're here. We're here to talk about it, tell you how it came to be and why we're doing it.
So what is it, Dan?
Stories.
That's the name of the series.
That's the name of the series.
Stories.
The new documentary series is a way for us to highlight some unique individuals from around the world.
Nice.
And learn all about them, learn what they do, and sort of
Share
their work, share their own curiosity, their own way of playing with things, so
their
to speak.
playful approach.
Yeah.
Their philosophy.
They're small videos, and by small I mean short. The first one is just under 4 minutes long, but it's the perfect length because I think it leaves you wanting to know more, and that's what Art of Play is all about.
Inspiring curiosity.
Exactly, yeah.
Through magical experiences, and this is a very magical experience. We should talk about what inspired stories and our first mini doc with Martin Smith.
Yeah, what did inspire stories? I
mean, we could go way back to our childhood.
Yeah, you know what? Early on, I think when we were, say 8 or 9, our parents bought a camcorder, as parents usually do when they have kids, to document
playing sports.
Yeah.
You can imagine us playing sports.
We discovered the record button in a very magical way. We discovered, granted we were 8 years old, so fairly young, and we didn't know a lot about filmmaking, but we discovered that if you record and then push pause and then move something out of the frame and then push record again, you had like instant movie magic. Like, little did we know we were reenacting or rediscovering the work of Georges Méliès and his classic movie magic that he did in his films early on, like early
Turn of the
1900s.
century,
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
120 years ago.
So we had a lot of fun, making these short skits and these short little films around the house and around the neighborhood. And, we got the movie bug, the magic bug, so to speak. And
For a while. And
for a
then
while, yeah.
It faded.
It faded, but not so much. I mean, we ended up trying to get into USC Film School eventually, with
There was
ambitions of being,
Yeah.
the next Wachowski brothers.
There was a
at the
period,
time.
though, between discovering those moments of movie magic when we were 8 or 9. And then it wasn't until we were 11 or 12 years old that we got the magic bug. We were very much inspired early on by David Copperfield and Siegfried and Roy and the world's greatest magic TV specials and Lance Burton. These grand magicians, these stage illusionists.
But it was still,
that's what we aspired to be.
Early on, I mean, before that, it was a magical effect that piqued our curiosity. And then
For sure.
later on, that turned into the art of illusion. Which,
I think we've always been drawn to magic, illusion, perception, tricking our senses, leaving us curious and wondering how it's done.
Yeah.
It was always actually the secret that was captivating.
Yeah, I mean,
we never aspired to be, I would say.
No, I think
Not
we
never.
have, like an engineer's mind, so to speak. Like, and that's ultimately what drew us to puzzles and art of play. Like, we love figuring stuff out.
And then it was David Blaine who really transformed our world, like literally, like completely changed.
Thank God.
How
can you imagine if we were doing like box tricks on stage in Vegas right now?
People do it. It's a thing.
No,
it's not our thing, but it's a thing. But David Blaine, like he made magic real for us and for a lot of people, and in fact, his special was all about the magic of the people he performed for.
Yeah,
they were always capturing those moments.
It wasn't about the trick. It was about the
reaction, the feeling.
Yeah, the sensation.
Of experiencing that magic. And that's what we try to do with art play.
For us, that's exactly what magic should be,
I mean, that's real magic.
Yeah.
That's like, you feel it on the inside when you're like, aha, you have that epiphany or that moment of bliss and like complete wonderment.
Yeah.
And that can happen with a lot of the items on Art of Play. It happens on our other show, Artifact, where we oftentimes demonstrate items for the very first time. And we're just blown away by how they function, the surprises in store. To us, that's magic. Those feelings, that's real magic. It just took us a while to figure out that this is the path we wanted to pursue. But where were we going with that? Oh, in the interim, we got sidetracked with the Wachowski brothers. We were on track to like be magicians and be like the next David Blaine, whatever that means. There's only one David Blaine.
Meanwhile, we still had filmmaking in the back of our mind. And
no, but it was the Matrix that really like ignited our interest in making movies.
For sure.
I think we just had fun as kids with the camera.
The first Matrix, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Matrix.
Yeah.
That was like Star Wars for kids.
Oh, I think so.
In the 70s and 80s and 90s. I mean, Star Wars inspires every generation, but for us, it was the Matrix. It was like, wow, you can do that on screen. It was real magic to us. And we wanted to pursue a career in making movies like that. And we got on track to go to film school, and we studied filmmaking and bought our own camera and started playing with camera equipment and writing our own scripts, and ultimately
filming a bunch of terrible short films that you will never see.
But what we did discover really worked for us was filming our own magic and filming this thing we were doing back in the day called cardistry, or called card flourishes, before cardistry even had a name.
Yeah, we literally brought both of our passions together and turned it into a business.
So yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, we had an epiphany when we made that first video with our friends Chris Kenner and Homer Levi called Spring Jam. It was a montage of a bunch of card flourishes over this white sheet with a bunch of light underneath, and It was very cinematic and dramatic and stylized.
Yeah,
and
it was very inspired by, music
music
videos.
videos at the
Yeah.
time. It's called Spring Jam if you want to look it up. I'm sure it's still out there.
Yeah, this was in 2000 and...
No, 2002 or 2001.
2000
We hadn't even graduated high school
2001.
yet.
Wow.
That inspired our first Magic DVD, which kickstarted our business.
Speaking of which,
Oh, you have a copy.
I have a copy right here.
So this is our very first DVD.
We
Not
call-
our first video.
We call this the Dan and Dave system,
We had a VHS.
and it
before
features
this.
18 original cardistry
Can we
tricks.
read Can I read the copy on the back? This is hilarious. All right, so this is our first DVD on cardistry. There was a video before this, but this was the first DVD. This is a compilation of playing card flourishes by two of the forefronts in close-up magic, Dan and Dave,
Cool.
also known as the Buck Twins. The Buck Twins have produced one of the finest instructional DVDs on the market today, integrating unique interactive menus with new concepts for DVD learning. This is just part of the system full of clever creations by the Buck Twins. It's true. Like, we really embraced the technology and did something we had never seen before. I was actually
Prior to
really happy with
putting this
with
out,
how it
we
came
had
together.
very little knowledge in Adobe products and Final Cut Pro and DVD Studio Pro at the time.
This was our film school.
This was definitely our film school. We literally taught ourselves to edit,
we taught ourselves
design,
the tools.
and make DVD menus. And what's funny is when we were making these menus, we lived near a big Best Buy store in Orange County, California, and we asked one of the workers there if they would let us test out our video on a TV.
We called it a student project.
Little did we know that it was now on 100 TVs all over Best Buy.
Giant LCD, or I think they were plasma screens back then.
Oh my gosh.
And we were just testing it out. And we were testing out the sound, making sure everything synced up.
Making notes, going back home and making adjustments.
We did this with our friend Brad Fulton.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah,
What's so great about that is, we worked so hard to get into film school. We were in this program for 2 years to transfer into USC Film School, the best film school in the world. My spouse went there. Our good friend Brad Fulton graduated from USC Film School. So it's been talked up a lot to us, and it was our friend Brad that actually persuaded us to apply to USC and not our original choice, which was UCLA.
UCLA, yeah.
Sorry, we're Trojans now. Well, we're not because
we got denied.
they denied us. Can you believe that?
Which
happens.
is okay. We don't have student debt.
We could have spent $200,000 each
easily. I mean, I think
$500,000 to go to film school, and instead we spent $500
to
produce.
We made our second project, which we called Tricks and Flourishes and Everything Else, or
the trilogy
for short. Yeah. And this is inspired by the Criterion Collection, which is an amazing publishing house that releases classic cult cinema in beautiful packaging. Well, now they just do it online. But back in the day, their packaging was amazing.
It was second to none. So we were very inspired
is
by their work.
A 3 DVD set.
Wow, and it has a booklet.
It comes with a booklet with beautiful photography from our friend Fulton.
This is so iconic.
You know what? Is this a collector's item? Because is this when Fulton was Weber?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is before the name change.
This is before the name change.
Wow.
But yeah, the Data system and the trilogy was, this was our, rebellion.
We said,
screw USC Film
No,
School.
I think we said at the time, fuck you. We don't need you. And in hindsight, we could have reapplied. We didn't know we could have done that at the time. We probably could have got in if we were persistent.
But I'm glad we didn't.
Our rebel nature was we don't need you. We can do this on our own. We know how to use these tools, and we can improve our skills. And we ended up moving to Las Vegas. A friend offered us their house.
Yeah.
And we turned their garage into a studio. And we spent the next year
and continued the business of applying our passion for filmmaking within the magic and cardistry world, and that lasted for the better part of a decade.
Well, first came the trilogy.
Yeah,
we spent a year making the trilogy in Vegas.
Yeah,
And, you know, we borrowed the equipment. We spent like no money on that thing. We didn't even have jobs.
Yeah.
Thankfully, our friend allowed us to live rent free. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, Chris and Homer. We had some amazing mentors helping us. So we did not do this alone.
No.
But, you know, this was the continuation of our film school. This was like our master degree. And I just love that instead of coming out with, you know, $500,000 in student debt.
We are 20 years later.
We turned it into a business.
Trying to figure out how to run one of these cameras. It's amazing how much technology
cameras have
changed.
Yeah, like back when we were making movies,
there was still like
the cameras were
tape.
large.
No, there was still tape. I don't think filming on SD cards was a thing.
But after the trilogy, like you said, like that became our business. Like we started making DVDs and then later streaming videos for magicians, like the best magicians in the world, really the best magicians in the world, like the Derek Delgadios and the Juan Tamarizis,
Helder Gamarez,
Danny De Ortiz, Aussie Win.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, we worked with the best magicians.
It was amazing.
In the world.
Yeah.
And that was our life for 10 years. And we even got an award for it. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
I think the moral of all of that is that
is there a moral?
Well, there's
follow your passion.
Yeah, follow your passion, and you know maybe it comes full circle because here we are, you know,
now in a position to produce the slickest mini doc I've ever seen. I honestly, like, I know I'm biased, but I'm just like, I put myself in an outsider's shoes and I look at this thing we created, this mini doc series that we've debuted or we've premiered the first episode of.
Yeah, and you guys are just seeing the first of many episodes. Yeah,
like it just blows my mind. I can't believe that we are behind this. Like obviously our whole team is behind this. You know, we didn't create this on our own. It's pretty remarkable that we're part of this company that is able to produce something so remarkable and wonderful. And it's just an honor to be able to share it with you and continue our mission in inspiring curiosity. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know. We're 38 years old, and we started when we were 12.
You know, I can totally see this coming full circle. You know, early on we wanted to be filmmakers. You know, we had that sort of ambition and that dream, and you know, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in 10 years, but I think eventually, you know, Art of Play is going to a place where, you know, we are going to be a media company, so to speak, and produce these incredible documentary films highlighting incredible humans from around the world.
Humans and artifacts and cultures and places. You know, what I think really attracts us to this medium is we're able to share these experiences freely. Like
on YouTube.
Right now, we have this Wonder Emporium, the most magical store in the world, Art of Play, where we curate the most curious, most wonderful, most magical items,
the coolest
we ever
stuff in the world
we can find, we can actually resell. A lot of them are really expensive. And what's nice about YouTube is we are able to reach the entire world and share these epiphanies, these magical experiences freely. And as our mission to inspire the world with curiosity, this is like the way to reach the most people to do that. And so that's really what attracts us to this medium. We're able to do it and offer it free. And
I mean, YouTube's an incredible platform that definitely
free to you. It costs us quite a bit of money. But
but it literally has the reach of the entire world, which blows my mind. That's amazing. I don't think there's anything else out there like it. But yeah, so we're having a lot of fun with it. And like Dave said early on, this is us just sort of honing our own skills of interviewing and discussing and talking about our passion. We're doing this for ourselves. I don't want to sound selfish, but
It's hard not to be.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, this is so fun, and it's fun to be able to share all of this with you guys. And at the same time, we get to learn so much. Like we have, ambitions of bringing on some incredible guests on this show to
we'd love for
interview.
this. We'd love for this to become a platform for us to interview remarkable people around the world. We want to share your story. What is play to you? How do
Yeah,
you
it's a great
experience
question.
wonder?
Yeah.
And sharing that with the intent of inspiring our listeners. And so that's
Yeah.
what we aim to turn the show into.
So
So thank you for joining
Yeah.
us on this very first episode. And if you're into it, maybe some future episodes as we work out the kinks and improve.
yeah, and if you know anyone or have any suggestions of artists out there from around the world,
You are
please
all artists.
feel free to put them in the comments. If you have any questions for us, also don't hesitate to answer.
Yeah, I think on this show,
We are
more so than Artifact,
Yeah.
we'll do Ask Us Anythings.
Yeah. When we originally launched Coffee with Dan and Dave back in 2013, it was a live show. That's a possibility. I don't know if you guys want it to be live, if you have a preference, but
We could do some live shows.
let us know in the comments. Also, if this is just way too long, let us know. Like, we're open to feedback. All feedback is great feedback. Also, like,
Your
you don't
off
have
button.
to, you don't have to watch this episode. Where Artifact, I feel like you kind of have to watch to fully understand what we're talking about. Because
This is
we're
supplemental,
demoing,
for
demoing
sure.
items. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can listen to this in the background or while you're in traffic or whatnot. Yeah. I mean, maybe we pick someone who we talk about in Artifact to interview,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
But I think we'll wrap it up.
Coffee's done.
My coffee is not done because I've already had like 4 cups today, and
It's true.
I
We
need to cut it myself off.
remember this is take 2
This is take 2.
because someone forgot to reformat the memory cards.
But yeah, thanks for watching.